foremost, I want to wish everybody that follows us on Knicks and Ish and Knicks Nation. We here. We want to wish you all a happy New Year. We all wish stay safe, be blessed, and I hope that you had a blessed one with the family. What up, Kurt? Appreciate you, my guy. Happy New Year. Appreciate it for the pull up. My guy Sam, what's goody, bro? Happy New Year. What's goody? Yeah, so yesterday we played OKC, and we had a that was a tough game. It was our first game without Julius. It was good. What up, Sam? It was goody. It was our first game without Julius, and we struggled a little bit. We did. We started off the first half pretty competitive. I think it was, we scored 20 in the first and then 29 points in the second. It was pretty convenient, but it was pretty competitive the first half, man. We was holding it down, and then the second half we just struggled mightily. We struggled big time. But I gotta give it up to RJ Barrett, man, because he stepped up and tried to hold us down. He put us on his back, and he held it down for us. He had 26 points in 36 minutes. He was 10 of 20 from the field, but he struggled. The whole team as a whole, they struggled from the 3-point line. They were 8 of 41 from three. They shot 19.5% as a team from the 3-point line. And that's really what happened. This game was winnable. I believe we could have won this game if we would have hit our shots, but we wasn't hitting our shots. We were cold. Everybody. Obi was cold. McBride was cold. Fournier was cold. Like I said, RJ was 1 of 8. Knox was 1 of 4. Grimes was 1 of 6. Quickly was 1 of 7. So as you can see, it was like to a point where they were just chucking up shots and not making them. They weren't trying to, drive to the basket. They weren't trying to, utilize the pick and roll with Mitch. None of that. So they really struggled in this game to hit shots, and that was basically what happened. There's nothing else to it. If they make those shots, we win this game. If they make most of those shots, we win this game, and it's a whole different conversation. But I think that overall, we kept them under 95. We kept them under 100 points, which is big, because it's not easy to keep the team in the NBA under 100 points. It's not. That's difficult to do. But I think that this team without Julius Randle is capable of getting it done. I know like I said, if we would have hit most of these shots, we win this game. I know Obi struggled in his first start. He had 5 points in 27 minutes. He was 1 of 4 from the field, 0 from 1 from 3. He had 7 rebounds with 1 assist. But they just wasn't hitting shots today. They wasn't finishing. What up, Marlon? Happy New Year, bro. They weren't finishing. They weren't dropping those shots. Weren't dropping, and they struggled mightily, man. They struggled. So. But I believe that this team will get over the hump and they'll start hitting those shots, because usually those are shots they always make. They're not a bad 3-point shooting team, but I feel like they always they settle way too much. I know they're a young team, especially this team that was on the floor today, because you had all the young guys on the floor. You had RJ, McBride, Robinson, Obi. Those guys are all under 25. So they're still a young team. But usually these guys make those shots, man. If these guys make those shots, we win this game easily. There's no conversation. But we didn't. And let's gotta tip your hat out. Tip your hat to Oklahoma. Oklahoma City's a good team, man. Especially when they got Shea Alexander playing, man. That guy's pretty good. You know what I mean? He even though he struggled from the field, he was 9 of 24 and 2 of 7 from 3. But he was driving to the basket and he was doing what he was supposed to do, man. That guy's still a good player. He's hard to defend. He is not an easy guy you can stop. So, unfortunately, we tried our best. It's just, it's easy as 1, 2, 3, man. We just wasn't hitting those shots that we usually hit. And, after a while, they just wasn't trying to drive to the basket, and if they did, they just wasn't finishing. Usually they finish those layups going down to when they drop to the basket. So, that's just wasn't the case today. So let's see what happens on Sunday. They play Toronto at 3:30. So far Toronto's up 2-0, and we gotta win that. It's time. We need to win that, man. That's a revenge game right there, and we gotta take that game. And we gotta figure out how to win this game, and stop chucking up so many shots from 3. And if you see that your shot is not dropping, it's time to move the ball and create for others or drive to the basket. But stop shooting so many 3s, man, because that's gonna hurt us down the stretch, especially if you're not hitting them. You dependent. It's like you're dependent on the 3 way too much, and that's unacceptable, man. If y'all see that your shots is not dropping, y'all gotta do something else, man. Again, shout out to R.J. Barrett for doing his best, man. He was really took control over the situation with JR on safety protocol, and he played pretty well. Tip your hat to him, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. So hopefully he can carry that on to Toronto. Toronto's a tough team. Those guys are good. And they're a pretty tough team to beat, especially when they have full health. Guys like Scotty Barnes and all those other guys that they got on that team. They're pretty good. They got a pretty good roster, and we got to be prepared, especially with Julius being out. So, but I definitely do think it's a game that we can win if we hit our shots. If we hit our shots, we win these games. I think the Knicks are a good team. I just think that right now they've had a hard time figuring it out. So time is running short. Time is running low on these guys, and we're already almost 40 games into the season, and we got to make things happen quick. Because if not, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I really don't know. So. Let's see. Hopefully, Kemba plays in Toronto versus the Raptors on Sunday. Even though he was an early scratch in this game, but I definitely hope that he can play on Sunday. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. New Year's, and y'all be easy, man. Stay safe. Later.